On this episode of He Said, She Said Movie Reviews, we take a look at the movie The Kitchen, written and directed by Andrea Berloff. Welcome to He Said, She Said Movie Reviews. This is the podcast where a happily married couple with similar but different movie taste take a quick, spoiler-free look at the movies, helping you make the right decision before your next movie. I'm your host, Tim.
And I'm April.
So we went and saw The Kitchen last night. April gives this movie 3.5 stars, and I give it 3. We'll tell you all about it right after this one trailer. So, the trailer we saw with The Kitchen was Harriet. This is about the extraordinary tale of Harriet Tubman's escape from slavery and the transformation into one of America's greatest heroes, whose courage, ingenuity, and tenacity freed hundreds of slaves and changed the course of history. This has a release date of November 1st of 2019. The stars Cynthia Erivo, Janelle, Monáe, and Joe Alwyn.
I can't wait to see this movie.
Yeah, this looks really fantastic.
Yeah, I want to grab all my nieces and go see this movie. All right, the storyline for this great movie was all about the wives of New York gangsters in Hell's Kitchen in the 1970s as they continue to operate their husbands' rackets after they're locked up in prison. The director is Andrea Berloff. This is a first-time director. She's also the writer. She's known for Straight Outta Compton, Bloodfather, Sleepless, the upcoming new Conan movie as well. This is based on the comic book series, though, from Ming Doyle and Ollie Masters.
Yeah, this had a great cast. Melissa McCarthy, Tiffany Haddish, Elisabeth Moss, Domhnall, Gleeson, and Common.
It was a great cast. The runtime was 102 minutes. It was rated R for violence, of course, and it is some extreme violence. Language throughout, and some sexual content.
Okay, so when we talked about this trailer, when we saw the trailer for the first time about it, we talked about how when you say Tiffany Haddish and Melissa McCarthy are doing a movie together, you're going to think this is a comedy.
Yes, which many people leaving the theater, by the way, last night thought. But we knew it wasn't. This is a serious subject matter, and it's a serious movie.
Yeah, this was a mobster movie with Tiffany Haddish and Melissa McCarthy in 2 of the 3 leads.
Good point. It was a female revenge movie. Women are doing it for themselves, by themselves, for each other. It was a great theme. And I gave the movie a 3.5 because, when I sat down, I got pulled in the whole way. Now, the violence, there's a lot of it, okay? And that's sometimes hard, but the plot, the characters, how they were woven together, the story, the costumes, I absolutely loved all the production design, the cinematography. And the music. I thought the music was great.
Yeah, it had some great early 70s music to this movie. I loved the score on this. It was really good. Cinematography was okay. April said the production design was great. For me, the acting, once again, Melissa McCarthy, Tiffany Haddish doing serious stuff. We already saw Melissa McCarthy do Can You Ever Forgive Me?, which she was phenomenal in. She got a nod at the Oscars for that and everything. Right. And Tiffany Haddish, who knew she could do serious? I mean, I think she's going to get a lot more serious roles coming forward after this movie from doing this.
She did a really good job. And I want to do a shout out, too, for Elisabeth Moss. She did so good in this movie, Tim.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a big Elisabeth Moss fan, but in this, I loved her character. Yeah. I thought
subtle
in the growth of her character from the start of the movie to the end of the movie. Wow, it was great. I will say, for me, from a guy's standpoint, this movie is a little bit unbelievable. I honestly think that in the 70s, I honestly don't think that 3 women would have been able to pull off what they pulled off in this movie. I just don't see it happening. But that being said, I really enjoyed this movie. I was highly entertained, and I really think you should go see it.
Okay, well, I do think it's possible, even in the 70s, because as we learned about the neighborhoods, It's all about loyalty. It's all about how you take care of each other. And it was about who was willing to step up and take the power. So that's what these 3 female characters did, and they did it well.
Right. But do you really think in the early 70s that a bunch of men would follow 3 women?
But it showed you how they got around that in the movie. That's what I enjoyed.
Okay.
Absolutely, I do. If you can get a couple of soldiers as a leader, whoever you are, and you've got a mission, take it on. And that's what they did. Yes, I do think, I thought the whole thing was very believable. I also enjoyed watching what they gave up for the power that they earned. That was the hard part for me. Just their heartache along the way with the good of them learning about themselves, investing in themselves, and standing up and trying to create something that they needed.
I already mentioned Elisabeth Moss. I really enjoyed her character in this, but I also want to give hats off to Domhnall Gleeson in this movie as Gabriel. And you're right. He's the character that made the belief of the women being able to do this come true. So I see what your point there. I'll give you a point to you for that. So.
Thank you. I mean, was the lead actor in my daughter's favorite movie of all time. I think it's About Time.
About Time, yeah, with Rachel McAdams.
He did a great job.
Yeah, I was really impressed with his character too.
And Common. I thought Common. I mean, I love seeing Common in anything, but it was really interesting to see him in this role for me. It sat well with me.
Yeah, I really like Common too as an actor. So
yeah, so it went good. But again, in this movie too, you have the plot, you have the difficulties of a lot of death. Okay, but what I really enjoyed, and I don't want to be repetitive, but Tim, even the costumes, just the streets, the sets, I just thought everything went good. What'd you think about the pace?
Oh, I thought the pace was fine. I mean, it wasn't really slow at any point, but a little bit in the beginning, but you had to build up in the first act to show how your main characters became orphans, et cetera, et cetera. And I thought there was a great story arc for all 3 of the main characters. So they each had their growth, whether negative or positive, throughout the movie. So
yeah, it was interesting. I mean, some of it's hard, of course, to watch. And I don't do well with excessive violence, but
yeah, the bathtub scene was a lot. But we'll leave it at that.
Let's leave it there. And there were a couple others, but I really did enjoy this movie. Meaning, I always say this. Tim talks about being entertained. I talk about how when I sit down, that I was there. What was the runtime on this? Let's look back.
It was just an hour and 46 minutes, or 42 minutes, something like that.
Good. Not bad. Still fits within my my requirements, but I didn't think about anything else during that movie. And that's always fun. It's a little escape sometimes.
There you go.
So I hope y'all will go and see this movie about 3 leading women. Let's support Andrea. I just think she did a great job. I wrote her a personal letter last night. I certainly want women directors and writers and producers. It's our time, so let's get it done.
Woohoo! Year of the Woman. There you go.
That's it.
So once again, I give this movie 3 stars. Abel gives it 3.5. We think you should go see this one. Remember, it's not a comedy.
All right. I want to thank everyone for all of your support. We're closing in now on our soon-to-be 100th episode. If you haven't entered the contest, please do. And thank everybody for your feedback about the spring cinema. It is phenomenal. Heated seats, the best selection of craft beer, and just, it's a fun place to go to the movies. So those of you we've run into, we look forward to it. We have a couple of events coming up. We'll be talking about that in the future.
See you at the movies.
See you at the movies.